Israel hits Iranian naval base in Caspian Sea, missile ships reportedly destroyed. Israel is reported to have launched a strike on an Iranian naval base in the Caspian Sea. A significant Iranian missile ship was reportedly destroyed during this unprecedented surprise attack. These operational details recently emerged from advanced regional military and international intelligence assessments. This aggressive attack marks a dramatic geographical expansion of the ongoing regional conflict. Historically, the inland Caspian Sea has remained entirely untouched by previous Israeli operations. Reaching this isolated body of water requires penetrating extensive hostile regional air defenses. Such a strike suggests highly advanced intelligence and incredibly complex technological flight capabilities. The exact covert infiltration methods used to reach the isolated base remain unclear. It has not been independently verified how the advanced munitions bypassed radar systems. Iranian state media aggressively claims the massive explosion was a minor training accident. However, regional intelligence sources suggest a deliberate and highly precision-coordinated military operation. If accurate, this bold strike sends a severe tactical warning directly to Tehran. The fiery destruction of the vessel heavily degrades Iran's northern regional maritime capabilities. This unprecedented event reportedly forces Iranian commanders to rapidly reevaluate their defensive postures. Military assets once considered extremely safe deep within Iranian territory are now vulnerable. A detailed report from military analysts suggests this could significantly alter deployment strategies. The actual tactical situation on the ground remains heavily restricted to independent observers. This northern maritime escalation adds a completely new, unpredictable dimension to the war. The Caspian Sea is a highly strategic body of water bordered by both Russia and Iran. A military attack in this specific enclosed region complicates sensitive geopolitical relations with neighboring powers. Israeli stealth aircraft, or long-range drones, would have needed to cross multiple sovereign hostile airspaces. This geographical feat demonstrates highly advanced covert operational flight planning and incredible technical execution capabilities. Military analysts reportedly suspect the destroyed naval vessel housed advanced anti-ship cruise missile launch systems. Neutralizing this specific maritime threat likely prevents future asymmetric attacks on commercial regional shipping lanes. Satellite reconnaissance imagery reportedly shows massive black smoke plumes rising above the damaged coastal facility. This commercial imagery corroborates initial intelligence reports, detailing the severely destructive precision nature of the strike. Top Iranian figure Ali Larijani, killed in strike. A separate devastating airstrike has reportedly killed senior Iranian political figure Ali Larijani. AP News noted this development could severely destabilize the highest national government levels. Larijani was widely believed to be running Iran since the broader war began. His powerful leadership provided crucial continuity during recent intense and highly complex engagements. The exact geographical location and precise timing of the fatal strike remain guarded. Sources urgently indicate the attack specifically targeted a highly secure underground command bunker. Eliminating a supreme national leader of this stature requires precise and real-time intelligence. It is widely believed to be one of the most politically significant assassinations. Iranian state officials passionately claim his sudden death will only strengthen their resolve. Conversely, Western political analysts suggest it might trigger a severe internal power struggle. Larijani possessed incredibly deep institutional connections within both the political and military establishments. His sudden permanent absence reportedly leaves a massive vacuum in strategic decision-making processes. Competing political factions within the national government may now fight fiercely for control. This intense internal political friction could potentially slow down coordinated external military responses. However, the dangerous possibility of a more radical hardline leadership successor remains high. It has not been independently verified who will immediately assume his vast responsibilities. The highly unpredictable transition period could lead to unauthorized aggressive actions from proxies. Militant forces allied with Tehran might act aggressively without centralized strict leadership coordination. This sudden high-level leadership decapitation marks a deeply pivotal moment in the conflict. Larijani previously served effectively as a prominent parliament speaker and the chief international nuclear negotiator. His deep understanding of intricate statecraft made him a totally irreplaceable institutional figure during crises. The targeted sudden destruction of his secure bunker highlights significant glaring vulnerabilities in Iranian internal security. Covert intelligence gathering for this precise deadly strike likely involved deeply embedded local human informant networks. Regional diplomatic observers reportedly note his absence heavily complicates any potential future ceasefire mediation efforts. He was widely considered a highly pragmatic conservative voice capable of balancing extreme radical political factions. Without his deeply experienced guiding hand, internal chaotic factional disputes will likely publicly erupt into view. The broader international diplomatic community is nervously watching how Tehran restructures its Supreme National Leadership Council. Iran strikes cut 17% of Qatar LNG output for years. Meanwhile, the global energy sector faces an unprecedented and truly devastating industrial disruption. Relentless Iranian military attacks have reportedly devastated a massive portion of Qatari infrastructure. 17% of Qatar's vital liquefied natural gas capacity is reportedly totally destroyed. Reuters reports that the sheer destructive scale of the industrial damage is unprecedented. The Qatar Energy Chief Executive Officer recently provided a remarkably grim international recovery timeline. Rebuilding these massive complex energy facilities could reportedly take up to 5 years. This long-term major industrial outage removes a massive crucial fuel volume from markets. Qatar currently proudly stands as one of the top natural gas suppliers worldwide. Multiple major Asian and European economies rely desperately on these specific export shipments. Financial prices for international natural gas futures have reportedly surged following the reports. International energy security experts passionately suggest a global desperate scramble for alternatives begins. However, rapidly replacing 17% of global Qatari output is practically impossible overnight. Critical winter heating fuel supplies for multiple vulnerable international nations are under threat. Massive vital industrial sectors relying heavily on natural gas might face rationing protocols. Iran aggressively claims these targeted energy facilities were legitimate assets supplying hostile nations. Regional foreign diplomats softly suggest this aggressive attack aims to pressure peace interventions. The remarkably prolonged infrastructure repair timeline means global economic ripples will last years. Global supply chain experts frequently note specialized equipment required for repairs is scarce. This deeply tragic incident vividly demonstrates the extreme vulnerability of critical regional infrastructure. United States and Australian natural gas exporters absolutely cannot rapidly replace this missing massive global volume. European allied nations heavily dependent on these crucial shipments face immediate, extremely severe winter energy shortages. Complex global energy logistics chains designed around massive Qatari export terminals are now completely violently disrupted. The physical destruction of these specialized cryogenic storage tanks requires immense, costly international engineering rebuilding support. Several major industrialized global economies might be forced to temporarily mandate strict domestic manufacturing factory shutdowns. This hostile action brutally weaponizes global civilian energy supplies against completely neutral non-combatant populations globally. Energy industry analysts strongly warn that global household heating bills will subsequently inevitably painfully skyrocket worldwide. Protecting the remaining highly vulnerable Middle Eastern natural gas infrastructure is now an absolute global security priority. United States launches air assault to reopen Strait of Hormuz. In direct kinetic response to regional instability, a major multinational military offensive begins. United States warplanes and advanced attack helicopters have initiated a massive combat operation. The primary critical operational objective is to violently reopen the heavily blockaded waterway. The Wall Street Journal noted the entire Strait of Hormuz is globally vital. A massive, significant daily portion of the world's oil supply transits this choke point. Aggressive hostile Iranian naval forces and hidden coastal batteries previously restricted all transit. United States military forces are reportedly conducting continuous dangerous combat sorties against defenses. Advanced attack combat helicopters are relentlessly hunting fast attack boats attempting to lay mines. Supersonic stealth fighter jets are systematically targeting anti-ship missile launchers along the coastline. This incredibly complex tactical maritime operation involves coordinating air, surface, and subsurface assets. Official United States military spokespersons forcefully indicate the mission will continue until secure. However, the complete final tactical neutralization of asymmetric maritime threats remains highly challenging. Iran proudly defiantly claims it can maintain the strict maritime closure despite bombardments. United States naval combat commanders gently suggest they are steadily degrading hostile capabilities. The definitive operational timeline for fully reopening the commercial shipping lanes remains ambiguous. It has not been independently verified how many international civilian vessels are trapped. Global maritime insurance premiums for international shipping companies have reportedly skyrocketed to highs. Clearing the incredibly dense explosive minefields will require highly specialized autonomous underwater submersibles. This fierce, relentless, ongoing battle represents the most intense naval combat in decades. United States nuclear aircraft carrier strike groups are reportedly fiercely launching continuous waves of interceptor fighters. Advanced electronic warfare planes are actively attempting to completely digitally jam all hostile Iranian coastal radar frequencies. Unmanned stealth reconnaissance aerial drones are continuously providing extremely crucial real-time targeting data for attacking helicopters. This incredibly dangerous kinetic maritime combat theater prominently features contested skies and heavily mined shallow waters. Commercial supertankers are presently heavily anchored safely strictly outside the immediate active combat maritime exclusion zone. Global commodity supply chain executives eagerly await any positive concrete operational updates regarding the strait. Every single passing operational day of strict maritime closure drains billions from the struggling global economy. United States Central Military Command reportedly frequently reiterates its firm commitment to absolute global navigation freedom. Europe and Japan move to secure Hormuz amid energy fears. The United States military is no longer conducting these complex, dangerous maritime operations alone. Numerous allied international diplomatic partners are rapidly mobilizing to join the highly volatile theater. Multiple key European countries and Japan are actively preparing to help legally secure waterways. A detailed intelligence report from the Epoch Times firmly highlights the formation of coalitions. These aligned, powerful nations are currently deploying frigates, guided destroyers, and specialized mine-clearing vessels. The primary urgent political motivation is to aggressively strategically stabilize the spiraling energy markets. Japan currently desperately relies heavily on Middle Eastern crude oil shipped directly through Hormuz. Several allied European nations are desperate to defensively, effectively protect whatever regional energy remains. Combining multiple international naval forces provides a much more robust physical protective defensive shield. It is widely strongly believed to be a purely necessary step sharing global military burdens. Coordinating drastically different, sophisticated global navies under heavy hostile fire presents immense logistical challenges. Allied Joint Command operational structures are reportedly being actively integrated at a central maritime headquarters. Senior experienced foreign diplomats cautiously suggest this unified multinational front sends a strong political message. However, rapidly bringing more varied international national flags into the combat zone sharply increases risks. A tragic accidental direct strike on a European or Japanese commercial vessel rapidly expands conflicts. Allied nervous political capitals are reportedly intensely bracing for potential violent asymmetric retaliation from proxies. Defensively, permanently, legally protecting the vital Strait of Hormuz has evolved into a massive endeavor. The ultimate final tactical success of this joint international armada has not been independently verified. Major European naval powers are actively deploying highly advanced air defense destroyers to urgently physically assist. Japanese National Maritime Defense Forces are proudly contributing highly specialized massive logistical support and defensive platforms. The massive combined Allied naval fleet must continuously tightly coordinate combat tactics, avoiding tragic friendly fire. This unprecedented modern international maritime deployment boldly underscores the absolutely critical global economic nature of shipping. Several smaller capable regional Allied navies are reportedly quietly discreetly providing additional vital maritime intelligence support. The highly complex international legal framework currently governing these joint defensive operations is deeply politically sensitive. Any aggressive hostile attack against these neutral convoy escorts would explicitly legally cross strongly established red lines. Global financial stock markets are reportedly reacting very nervously to this rapidly expanding multinational military presence. The incredibly rapid, unprecedented convergence of these monumental global events creates precarious geopolitical international landscapes. Audacious targeted military strikes reaching the inland Caspian Sea demonstrate totally unprecedented operational intelligence reach. The sudden, completely unexpected death of Ali Larijani permanently heavily removes central Iranian strategic leadership. This massive political assassination creates a highly unpredictable, extremely dangerous power vacuum during critical phases. Simultaneously, the truly internationally catastrophic operational damage to Qatari infrastructure severely threatens global economic stability. A prolonged, devastating 5-year supply deficit in liquefied natural gas forces highly desperate international policies. The massive, highly complex multinational military battle to forcibly reopen the Strait of Hormuz intensifies. United States heavily armed forces and powerful global allies face a highly determined, entrenched adversary. Any minor accidental tactical miscalculation in these heavily contested waters could easily trigger wider conflagrations. The dangerous, unprecedented global intersection of military kinetic escalation and severe international energy disruptions is concerning. Vulnerable, interconnected global financial markets will likely heavily experience extreme daily volatility as combat operations continue. Navigating this unprecedented, deeply complex international crisis requires carefully navigating treacherous military and delicate diplomatic minefields. Absolutely no clear, peaceful diplomatic resolution currently logically appears on the immediate dark geopolitical horizon. As international military tensions rapidly continue to rise globally, the overall situation remains highly fluid. With multiple heavily armed ongoing military and global economic operations, vast geopolitical and market uncertainties remain. The situation remains fluid. Subscribe for the latest updates as new developments unfold.